bride actually happened.
So, it's the 1300s and Prince Pedro of Portugal is set to marry Lady Constanza Manuel because his daddy, King Alfonso, had a whole frenemy situationship going on with neighboring kingdom Castile. So, the match was purely political. It was like a keep your friends close but your daughter-in-law's closer type of deal. Then, a hot new bombshell enters the villa. And it's his wife's illegitimate cousin slash lady-in-waiting, Inez de Castro. They do get married like they're supposed to, but he still has a thing for Inez. So, it's basically he's like Romeo and his daddy's like stay away from Juliet. So every time the palace would try and like banish Inez, like our boy was down bad, he would like run away with her and link up. Does manage to impregnate his actual wife, but then she conveniently dies in childbirth because this is women's history, so no women in the story actually have a happy ending. Anyways, our boy Prince Pedro is neither subtle nor slick, so he immediately moves in with Inez, and they basically are openly shacking up with each other for like 10 years. Once the couple started having multiple children, the nobles began clutching their pearls because it was fine when she was just a mistress side chick, but yeah, we can't have all of these illegitimate grandkids and brother-in-laws running around messing with the line of succession. Like, that could cause a civil war. But the ops go to the king like, what are you gonna do about it? So the king waits until his son Pedro is out of town, and he orders his men to unalive Inez. Legend says it happened right here, and her tears made the fountain and bloodstained on this rock. Talk about a villain origin story. This actually does cause a civil war to break out between the son and the king, until his mother, the queen, convinces them both to chill out for the sake of the kingdom. That just means Pedro has to make moves in silence. He stays single and locks in for his revenge in 1357, because that's when his father died, so now Pedro is the king of Portugal. And he's like, let's get Sendy. First order of business is to hunt down the ops who assassinated Inez and metaphorically ripped out his heart. And Uno reverse, he literally rips out their hearts in public. Second plot twist, he announces that he and Inez actually were secretly married and posthumously crowns her queen. But legend has it, what died didn't stay dead, because he digs up her corpse, sits her on the throne, dresses her in robes, and there's like a little meet and greet, and makes all of the haters kiss her decomposing hand. Then he moves her body into the royal monastery. And Pedro himself dies a few years later in 1367, but he made sure to be buried next to and facing Inez. And the inscription on their tomb reads, "Till the end of the world." So ladies, if he wanted to, he would.